Hello there, I'm John Oliver, host of Last Week Tonight on HBO. Although here, I'm on YouTube, like I'm about to give the least anticipated makeup tutorial of all time. I'm sorry, but now is not the time that I share my patented contouring technique, which I call John-touring. It's about blending, it's about blends. It's about blending the makeup, is what I think it is about. Now, we're off for a few weeks. And in the meantime, I thought I would do one of our periodic reviews of this show's fan mail. Now, of course, no one sent me actual mail because I'm not currently fighting in the Revolutionary War. Or as they call it where I'm from, the war of, well, we've still got Canada. We've still got Canada. So, now, as always, our fan mail comes in the form of YouTube comments. The most cogent written argument for never learning how to read. I would like to share some of my favourite comments, not all of which are hateful. In fact, one viewer even wrote, John Oliver has magnificent eyebrows, which I appreciated, and I'll tell you why, because no one has ever called any part of my body magnificent. Ever. But then I got a little confused when I saw that someone else had written, John Oliver's eyebrows are alien caterpillars and move independently of each other. And I thought, well, that's OK. That's OK, that does still technically fall under the umbrella of magnificent. There's no more magnificent eyebrow than one that is sentient and moves independently. So you know what? Sorry, Cara Delevingne, I'm the new queen of eyebrow thickness. Step off! Step off, Cara! Now, the problem is, things went steadily downhill from there. One commenter said, John Oliver looks like a mix of a Pokemon and a child molester, which made me a little mad because there is already a mix between a Pokemon and a child molester, and it's called Gengar. Look at that creep! Look at that creep! But the most discouraging thing I saw was a comment that read, at least you serve your corporate masters well, unfunny live-action beaker, which was incredibly discouraging because... Mainly because I was annoyed that I hadn't thought of that myself. I don't mind being insulted by commenters, but it really hurts when I'm out-comedianed by them. Honestly, many people who try to insult me on YouTube have badly missed the mark. For example, someone wrote, he's aged so much, which is just not an insult. It's merely an affirmation that I've continued to succeed at my #1 life goal, not dying in a significant way. That's something I've been consistently good at since I was born. Another comment simply described our show as uniquely boring, which, again, it's not an insult. It's not. For something to be both unique and boring is a true feat. It's a phrase that I would reserve for something exceptional like a Ken Burns documentary about snails. But of all the comments I read, one stood out above all the others and really made me feel good about my career choices. And that comment laid out a challenge I'm prepared to take on, because this comment read, John Oliver, I bet you $1 zillion that you won't feature this comment in a video. Well, touche, anonymous YouTube user. Pay up. Pay up. And to the rest of you, I will see you never. I don't need this shit anymore. I'm a zillionaire now. Last Week Tonight returns on the 24th of July, unless I can't find a place to dock my new yacht. Until then, you're all monsters. Goodbye. Hello there, I'm John Oliver, host of Last Week Tonight. We're off this week for the 4th of July, but I wanted to make a video to wish everyone a happy Independence Day, or as they call it where I'm from, July the 4th. And that's it. I do hope you have a great day of resting, barbecuing and preparing to explain your weird tan lines to your co-workers on Tuesday. I fell asleep outside with my hat on backwards and now my forehead looks like a sunset. But I'd just like to take a quick moment to remind you of what you're missing out on by celebrating your independence. Because, as you know, since 1776, you've done very well as a nation. But it might be worth thinking about just a handful of things that you gave up when kicking Britain unceremoniously out of this country. Because first, there is the matter of your accents. These beautiful vowel sounds could have been yours. But instead, from sea to shining sea, you speak like you just burnt your tongue on a hot apple pie. You are also missing out on bowler hats, which are perfect for dressing your head like an circumcised velvet penis. And that is not even mentioning all the cuisine that you lost. For example, meat pies, which are a lot like British people themselves. A hardened outer layer gives the impression of composure, but under the surface, it's just a hot f***ing mess. But the thing that Americans are really missing out on is pessimism. Americans are optimistic people who believe the sky is the limit, whereas in Britain, we are painfully aware of our limits. In fact, just look at the British sky itself. Even the sun is incapable of asserting itself there. British people never make the mistake of developing self-esteem because no matter what we achieve, deep down we know we'll never be as good as the Queen, which is to say, an elderly woman who frowns for a living. So just take a moment on this July the 4th to think about all that you left behind, and I think you'll realise, honestly, you are probably way better off the way that things are. Thank you so much for watching this. Do enjoy your holiday. We'll be back on HBO with a new episode on July 24th. Goodbye! Hello there. I just want to take a moment to dip into our Last Week Tonight mailbag. Because, as you may recall, last week on this exact programme, I had a little bit of fun with some of the health claims made by Pom Wonderful.
If you know a man that you care about, or you are a man, make him drink 8 ounces of pomegranate juice a day, because what it does for prostate cancer is amazing.
Or really, just give him a pomegranate enema instead. Just shove a bottle of pomegranate juice up his arse and squeeze it. You'll be amazed at the results. I may or may not have then referred to their juice as snake oil and encouraged viewers to put stickers on their bottles suggesting their juice contains dogs. Well, a few days after that segment aired, and this is true, Pom Wonderful sent over a tiny refrigerator and several cases of their dog juice. Along with a letter. They sent a letter, and I would like to read a little bit, if I may. Dear Mr. Oliver, what fun. There's a full stop there, not an exclamation mark, and that's a key difference. We did love the premiere of your show. We know that a huge amount of heart and effort went into it for you and your team, passive-aggressive. And it was a great success, hypothetical. We know it will continue to grow and evolve, but what a wonderful start. You can taste the sarcasm on the page at this point. We even think that about the segment about Pom. We take these things in the spirit of good humour in which they're made. Partially. We like to think that we're able to take a joke. It was very funny. We laughed hard. And you're spot on with the problems in food advertising and labelling. You'll forgive us for offering just a few sentences of context. Here we go. We really have spent $35 million to finance world-class research on the health effect of pomegranates. That research isn't definitive, but it actually is promising. We think consumers know that they can't actually cheat death by drinking juice, and we think we'll win our appeal that the FTC totally overreacted to that kind of hyperbole. As for the idea of a pom enema, they say, we'll take it under advisement. They then continue, what you do with the cooler full of pom is your business. So let me just say to Pom Wonderful, kudos. That is a beautifully crafted letter, because I seriously cannot think of a more elegant way to say, Here's a crate of our product. Go ahead and shove it up your arse. And look, if making fun of a product is the way to get a shipment of it, let me just say this for the record right now. Rolex makes terrible watches. Just the worst timepieces in the world. Please do keep your letters coming.